Goodbye, belly fat. Today I'm going to reveal some surprising facts, so don't miss out. The obesity rate in Japan is only 4%. In America, it's 42%. In Europe, it's 23%. So what do the Japanese know that we don't? Is it genetics? No. Do they eat rice? Partially true, but that's not the real secret. The Japanese don't fight belly fat. They dance with it. They don't sweat for hours in gyms. They don't starve themselves. In fact, most don't even diet. So how do they do it? The answer lies in 5 simple rituals passed down for centuries, scientifically proven, but little known in the West. And these rituals are so simple that you can easily practice them at home, even on a pension. They don't require expensive equipment, special foods, or a gym membership. All you need is awareness, breath, and a few minutes of focus. By the way, if you think you're alone and old, don't worry, because I'm here to keep offering solutions to your problems. If you're looking for a way out, you need to watch this video all the way through without skipping, because the methods I'll show you work regardless of your age, weight, or fitness level. Why? Because they don't strain your body, they awaken it. They don't threaten your metabolism, they guide it. And most importantly, they're sustainable. Because it's not a diet, it's a philosophy of life. To apply these techniques, all you need is a few minutes a day, the right information, and determination. Each one is effective on its own, but when you apply them all together, they create synergy. You may not see a big change on the scale in the first 2 weeks, but you will notice that your posture has improved, your stomach is less bloated, and your energy has increased. Please mention in the comments where you are from and your age, so that I can offer you much better solutions. So, why Japanese methods? Because Japan is one of the countries with the highest average life expectancy in the world. The number of people over 100 years old is at a record high. And here's the interesting part. Most of these people have never been to a gym, counted calories, or done a keto diet in their lives. But they all share one thing in common: conscious movement, conscious breathing, and conscious nutrition. What is belly fat? There are 2 types of fat in your body. The first is subcutaneous fat, the fat you can touch and see. The second is belly fat, or visceral fat, the dangerous fat that accumulates deep inside between your organs where you can't see it. That's the real problem. You will get rid of this fat with methods that will create a miracle effect and achieve the body you want. Yes, now I'm going to start explaining the healing methods, and you may be hearing what I'm going to say at the end for the first time. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. 5. Takashi Michihata. Technique: walking with abdominal vacuum. Takashi Michihata, who runs a physical therapy clinic in Tokyo, made a revolutionary discovery in the 1990s. He had his patients do classic abdominal exercises, but the results were disappointing. That is, until one day he tried synchronizing breath control with abdominal contraction while walking. The results were astonishing. In just 4 weeks, patients' waistlines decreased by an average of 6 to 8 centimetres. The scale didn't change much, but the appearance was completely different. Why? Because this technique targets not the external abdominal muscles, but the internal abdominal wall, known as the transversus abdominis. This muscle is your body's natural corset. When it weakens, your organs sag forward and your belly sticks out. But when you strengthen these muscles, it's like wearing an internal corset. Here are the details of the technique. When you go for a walk in the morning or move from room to room in your home, match each step with a breathing rhythm. On the first step, take a deep breath through your nose. On the second step, pull your belly in, as if your belly were sticking to your spine. On the third step, maintain this contraction and exhale deeply and slowly through your mouth. On the fourth and final step, just relax. It will be very difficult at first, but it will become very easy over time. You may forget after 20 to 30 steps, but that's perfectly normal. After 2 weeks, the first thing you'll notice in the mirror is the position of your stomach. Your back will be straighter, your shoulders back, and your head held higher. Why? Because the inner abdominal muscles don't just hold your stomach in place. They support your entire posture. 4. Zero training. Reset your body. Eliminate fat. Tomoko Okabe, a yoga and Pilates instructor in Tokyo, published a book called Zero Training in 2017, selling 500,000 copies in Japan in just 1 week. Why did it attract so much attention? Because Okabe, despite being 45 years old, had the body of someone in their 20s, and her claim was very bold. Bring your body to its natural 0 point, and the fat will melt away on its own. So, what is this 0 point? According to Okabe, modern life deforms our bodies. We slouch at our desks, bend our necks looking at our phones, and forget to breathe due to stress. All of this disrupts the body's natural alignment, and this disruption slows down the metabolism. The solution? Just 5 minutes a day, performing 3 basic movements that bring the body to its 0 position. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like the video. The first movement is the huff breath and back stretch movement. Lie on your back on the floor. Place a small pillow or towel under your knees. Extend your arms above your head, palms facing up. Now take a deep breath through your nose for 3 seconds, expanding your chest. Then exhale all the air for 7 seconds, making a huff sound through your mouth. At the same time, pull your abdominal muscles in, but don't strain, just be aware of them. Repeat this movement 5 times. What happens? Your diaphragm works. The diaphragm is your body's largest respiratory muscle and also massages your internal organs. When it works correctly, bowel movements are regulated, blood circulation improves, and most importantly, visceral fat around the internal organs, is mobilized. This is because each movement of the diaphragm creates slight pressure on the liver, stomach, and intestines. This pressure is a mechanical stimulus that triggers the breakdown of fat tissue. The second movement is spinal extension. Again, lying on your back, pull your right knee towards your chest and grasp it with both hands. Keep your left leg straight on the floor. Lift your head slightly and bring it towards your right knee, as if your nose and knee were about to touch. Take 3 breaths in this position, then switch sides. What does this movement do? It releases compression in the lower back and waist area. As you know, belly fat accumulates not only in the front but also in the waist area. This build-up puts pressure on the spinal nerves, causing pain and slowing down metabolism. When you extend your spine, this pressure is reduced and the nervous system relaxes. A relaxed nervous system means lower cortisol. Lower cortisol means less fat storage. Simple but effective. The third and final 0 training movement is cat-cow synchronization. Get on all fours. As you inhale, arch your back inward, lift your head and let your belly drop toward the floor. As you exhale, arch your back upward like a cat, lower your head and pull your belly toward your spine. Repeat 10 times. but slowly, very slowly. Each movement should take 5 to 6 seconds. What does this do? It increases spinal flexibility and strengthens the lower back abdomen connection. This movement also helps stimulate the movement of lymphatic fluid around visceral fat. The lymphatic system is the body's waste collection system. When inactive, it becomes clogged. When active, it cleanses. The goal of zero training is precisely this: to reset the body every day, clear blockages, and restore natural flow. And it only takes 5 minutes, shorter than a coffee break. Now, I have an important question for you. Could artificial intelligence replace doctors in the coming years? Share your thoughts in the comments. 3. The 30 Chews Rule, the Mochi philosophy. There is a saying in Japan, harahachi-bu, fill your stomach 80%. But there is another lesser known rule, sanju kaikamu, chew each bite 30 times. Why do they follow this rule? Because the Japanese know that digestion begins in the mouth, not in the stomach. And the speed of chewing directly affects your insulin response. When someone eats quickly, their body goes into shock, blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and fat is stored. When someone eats slowly, their body remains calm, blood sugar rises gradually, insulin stays balanced, and fat is burned. So does chewing 30 times really work, or is it just a tradition? A study conducted at Osaka University in 2019 measured the results of chewing 30 times. The first group chewed each bite 10 times, while the second group chewed 30 times. The food they ate was the same, with identical calories and portions. But the results were different. The group that chewed 30 times felt 20% less calorie intake after the same meal and stayed full 15% longer. What's more, their blood sugar peak was 25% lower. So you're eating the same meal, but just by chewing more slowly, your body secretes less insulin and goes into less fat storage mode. Is it a miracle? No, it's physiology. Chewing sends an early satiety signal to the brain. Salivary enzymes begin to break down carbohydrates. And most importantly, when meal duration increases, the leptin hormone has a chance to kick in. Leptin is the hormone that says, "I'm full now," but it takes 15 to 20 minutes to be released. If you finish your meal in 5 minutes, you'll have already overeaten before the leptin signal arrives. Don't forget to listen to the bonus secrets I'll share at the end of the video. They're really important. 2. Japanese secret water, the morning's golden liquid. When 100-year-old women living on Japan's Okinawa island were asked a question, almost all of them gave the same answer. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is drink my special water. So, what was this special water? It wasn't just water. It was a mixture of fresh ginger, lemon, and warm water. Westerners call it detox water and pose with it on Instagram. But the Japanese have been doing this for centuries, quietly, without fanfare. And they see it not as a trend, but as a discipline. Because they know that the first thing that enters the stomach sets the metabolic tone for the day. If you drink sugary coffee on an empty stomach in the morning, insulin goes wild. If you drink warm ginger lemon water on an empty stomach, your metabolism wakes up. Here's the formula. A glass of warm water at about 40 degrees, the juice of half a lemon, a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. As soon as you wake up in the morning, drink this elixir first, before brushing your teeth and eating breakfast. Then, wait 20 to 30 minutes. This waiting period is critical. Why? Because During this time, several important events occur in your body. First, the gingeral compound. In ginger balances stomach acid and triggers thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is the process by which the body burns calories by generating heat. Studies show that consuming ginger can increase basal metabolic rate by 5 to 8%. This may seem small, but for someone who burns 1,500 calories a day, that's an extra 75 to 120 calories. Without doing anything, just by starting the day with the right drink. The second effect comes from lemon. The citric acid in lemon juice supports the liver's morning detox routine. Your liver works throughout the night to filter toxins. When you wake up in the morning, these toxins need to be eliminated. Lemon juice stimulates bile production, accelerating this elimination process. And bile not only eliminates toxins, it also plays a critical role in fat digestion. So when you drink this water in the morning, you are actually telling your body, get ready, today we are going to burn fat and eliminate toxins. The third effect is hydration. You don't drink any water for 6 to 8 hours during the night. Your body wakes up slightly dehydrated. A dehydrated body has a slow metabolism because every metabolic reaction requires water. Drinking warm water in the morning instantly activates cells and initiates metabolic reactions. But don't drink ice-cold water. Why? Because cold water shocks the stomach and forces the digestive system to contract. This consumes energy and slows down the body's metabolic functions. The Japanese always drink warm water. Liquids close to body temperature cause less stress on the stomach and are absorbed quickly. I should also mention this. After drinking this water, wait 20 to 25 minutes before eating breakfast. Why is this waiting period important? The first liquid to enter the stomach cleans the stomach walls, establishes acid balance, and prepares the enzymes. If you eat immediately, this preparation process is interrupted. But if you wait, by the time you eat breakfast, your digestive system is already prepared, activated, and optimised. The result? Better digestion, less bloating, and more controlled blood sugar. 1. Ofuro and massage, the hidden power of hot water. In Japan, ofuro is not just a bath, it is a ritual. Westerners take a shower, clean themselves, and get out. The Japanese, however, view bathing as a therapy session. And there is one thing they do during this therapy that is incredibly effective on belly fat: circular abdominal massage. Keiko-san, a 78-year-old woman living in Kyoto, has been following the same routine every day for 40 years. When she takes her evening bath, she sits in the hot water for 15 minutes and massages her stomach with slow, deep, circular movements during that time. The result? At 78, she has almost no belly fat. Her metabolic age is measured at 55. Her doctors call it a miracle, but Keiko-san just laughs. It's not a miracle, she says. It's just discipline. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to experience such transformations. How do you think this massage is done? While sitting in the bath, set the water temperature to 38 to 40 degrees. 40 degrees is not as hot as you might think. It's just right. Now, place both hands on your stomach. Starting from the right side of your belly button, draw large circles clockwise. Apply light pressure, but not so much that it hurts. Each circle should take 5 to 6 seconds. Do a total of 20 circles. Then change direction and do 20 more circles counterclockwise. What is the purpose of this simple movement? First, It stimulates lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic system is the body's sewage system. It collects and removes toxins, excess fluid, and fat metabolites. But it doesn't have a pump like the heart. It works through movement and massage. Excess fluid and toxins accumulated in the abdominal area are mobilized by this massage and directed into the lymph channels. The second effect comes from the hot water itself. Hot water dilates blood vessels. Dilated vessels carry more oxygen and nutrients. Oxygen is critical for fat burning. Fat cells cannot burn without oxygen. That's why people who exercise regularly burn more fat, because the heart pumps and carries oxygen. But even if you don't move during ofuro, the hot water passively increases circulation. Japanese researchers call this passive heating. And studies show that taking a 15-minute hot water bath 5 days a week has metabolic benefits similar to a light-paced walk. But ofuro alone is not enough. You can apply another technique during the massage, the oil compression technique. Grasp the oil with both hands on either side of your stomach. Squeeze gently and lift upward, then release. Repeat this movement 10 times. What happens? The fat cells are subjected to mechanical pressure, and this pressure makes the cell membrane more permeable. The permeable cell membrane facilitates the passage of fat into the bloodstream, and once it enters the bloodstream, that fat can be burned for energy. This technique is especially effective in hot water because the heat has already softened the cell membrane. The Japanese call this the you-know-me effect. You-know-me means teacup, but it also figuratively means to melt with heat. Ultimately, these are not diets, but a complete lifestyle. Now we come to the bonus information and secrets, so listen carefully. Don't try to apply all 5 methods at once. It will be overwhelming and you'll give up. Instead, do this. Apply 1 technique per week. After 5 weeks, all the methods will become a natural part of your life. And you'll notice that the feeling of I'm dieting is gone. You're just living more consciously. You're breathing better, eating better, moving better. And as a result of this awareness, your belly fat will start to melt away. But that's not the real gain. The real gain is increased energy, improved sleep quality, reduced back pain, and boosted self-confidence. Also, remember this. Don't step on the scale every day. In fact, don't even step on it once a month. Instead, look in the mirror. Focus on how you feel. How do your pants fit? Do you get out of breath climbing stairs? Do you wake up tired or energised in the morning? These are the real measurements, not the numbers on the scale, because muscle weighs more than fat. You can lose fat and gain muscle, and the scale might show the same number. But the image in the mirror will be completely different. The Japanese know this. That's why they trust the mirror and their subjective sense of well-being over the scale. One last thing. Be patient when applying these methods.